You want to know what women actually find most attractive in a man. Not the fluffy theories, not the recycled cliches, but the real triggers that light up the parts of her brain where curiosity becomes desire, and desire becomes pursuit. So let's pull the curtain back. Right now, as you listen, I want you to feel your spine lengthen and your breath drop a little deeper into your body. Because attraction begins in the nervous system, not in your words. She reads your breath before she hears your voice. She reads your shoulders before she hears your opinions. You've been told to be nice, to be interesting, to be available. That advice is why your conversations feel like pushing a rock uphill. The truth is sharper. Women are drawn to the man whose presence creates an emotional climate around him, a mix of steadiness and tension, comfort and sparked electricity, because it signals one thing on a primal level. This man can handle life, and he won't crumble if I test him. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me, because we're just getting started. What women find most attractive begins with something invisible: grounded calm. It is the quality that slows her breathing when she's near you, the energetic signal that says, "I'm here, I'm good, and nothing is going to knock me off center." You don't perform calm, you become calm. Practice this everywhere. Inhale through your nose for a slow 4, hold for 2, exhale for a smooth 6. Keep your exhale silent and soft. That rhythm becomes the baseline of your voice, the cadence of your eye contact, the way you occupy space. When you speak from that baseline, your words carry weight. Your presence is a frame she steps into. She senses that frame within seconds, and without a single compliment or joke, she already knows whether she's dealing with a boy or a man. A boy's attention is scattered. A man's attention is a beam of light. A boy chases outcome. A man sinks into the moment, knowing he is the outcome. Next comes self-direction, what most men call purpose. Every woman intuitively scans for it, not because she needs you to be rich or famous, but because self-direction is proof of adult masculinity. A purpose-driven man moves with micro-decisions that line up. He chooses the table with better lighting. He orders with clarity. He suggests a time that works. And when it doesn't, he proposes another one instead of asking her to plan. This isn't about domination. It's about leading the dance you invite her into. If your life is a fog, you'll lean on her for certainty, and that dependence turns the polarity off like a switch. Start with this. Identify one mission that you show up for daily. It could be your craft, your body, your business. The content matters less than the consistency. Women don't follow big talk, they follow evidence of rhythm. Rhythm is sexy because rhythm equals trust. Boundaries are next. The most attractive men filter what they allow into their world. You don't have to announce your standards, you demonstrate them. If she cancels late, you don't punish or plead. You simply say, "No worries. Let's aim for another time when you're certain." Wednesday or Friday works, and then you disappear until she re-engages. That calm pivot communicates abundance and self-respect. When a boundary is crossed in conversation, she's testing, provoking, or poking, you respond with playful steadiness. Try this subtle pivot. She challenges you, you pause, you give a brief smile, and you say, "You're fun." Then change the topic to something you actually care about. You didn't argue or justify. You signaled you're not a man who bleeds attention when tugged. The moment she realizes your attention is valuable and movable, she treats it like a luxury commodity. Selective attention is essential. Attraction is not about showering her with focus. It's about shaping the quality of the focus you give. Early on, you keep your attention intermittent yet warm. Look at her with the soft triangle gaze. Right eye, left eye, lips. Then break contact deliberately to observe the environment, adjust your posture, or speak to the barista by name. This rhythm, engage, disengage, re-engage, creates micro-mystery. Constant staring feels needy. Constant scanning feels avoidant. The dance between the two feels alive. When you speak to her, slow your rate by 15%. Silence is not empty, it's charged. Let your pauses do part of the work. She will fill them with her imagination, and a woman's imagination is the most potent amplifier of attraction you will ever experience. Your voice carries more than information. It carries emotional leadership. Lower your center of gravity when you speak. Imagine your words originating from your chest, not your throat. Keep the ends of your sentences downward, not upward. Upward inflection screams approval-seeking. Downward inflection telegraphs settled confidence. This matters when you ask her out, when you playfully disagree, and when you reveal something real. You can say the same sentence with two different arcs and get opposite results. Try this. Let's grab a coffee on Thursday after 6 and let the final word land like a soft period, not a question mark. If she says she's busy, you don't collapse. You reply, "All good, I'm flexible. Another evening next week could work," and you let it breathe. You're not selling a time slot, you're inviting her into your pace. Competence is profoundly attractive, and it shows up in small, concrete ways. You handle logistics smoothly. You know where to park. You know the best time to arrive. You pick a place with acoustics that support a real conversation, not a shouting match. You take the seat that gives her the better view. You notice the temperature and suggest moving if it's drafty. You handle tiny frictions before they become her discomfort. This is not servitude. It's leadership. An attractive man reduces cognitive load. He makes life feel easier without broadcasting effort. She will never say, "I'm attracted because he pre-checked the venue." But the feeling she gets, safety, ease, being seen, pours fuel on the fire of desire. Then there's the energy of play. Women are not moved by robotic seriousness. They're moved by range. A man who can shift from steady to teasing to intense to light is intoxicating. Use calibrated mischief. When she tries to trap you into an opinion you don't hold, let a half smile appear and say, "I'm not that easy to label." When she makes a bold claim, tilt your head, hold her eyes for 2 beats, and answer with a lightly skeptical, "Convince me." That phrase is a doorway. It challenges her mind, invites her passion, and positions you as a man who enjoys spirited polarity without animosity. Remember, laughter plus tension equals chemistry. Remove either, and you get friend zone or conflict. Blend them, and you get spark. Scarcity heightens value, but it must be authentic. The most attractive men are busy with a life that matters to them. They text with clarity, not availability. 2 or 3 concise messages to set a meet. Logistics handled. Back to life. You're not a chatterbox concierge. You're the sun passing through her sky at intervals. When you do engage, you're present. When you disengage, you disappear cleanly. This rhythm is not a trick. It's the natural byproduct of genuine focus. If you find yourself compulsively checking your phone, you don't have a texting problem. You have a center of gravity problem. Reclaim your center by scheduling your attention like you schedule your training. Windows of deep focus. Windows of presence with people. Windows of play. Your structure creates your aura. Cleanliness, style, and scent are primal. Before she knows your values, she knows your grooming. Keep your hair intentional. Keep your nails clean. Keep your breath immaculate. Wear fabrics with texture, suede, knit, brushed cotton, because touch is the silent invitation that lives in her peripheral senses. Fit matters more than labels. Choose a neutral palette that frames your face, and anchor it with one signature piece. A watch with weight, a bracelet with story, a jacket that sits on your shoulders like it was built for you. Your smell should be understated but memorable. 2 sprays max on pulse points, never on your shirt. She will remember your scent long after she forgets your jokes. Don't overthink it. Choose a clean, warm profile and let it belong to you for a season. Consistency breeds association, and association breeds longing. Non-reactivity is the quiet throne of masculine attractiveness. She will test, sometimes subtly, sometimes directly. She may go a little cold, delay a reply, or toss a spicy comment your way to feel the edges of your frame. Don't counterpunch, slow down. Think of your attention as a lake. When a stone gets thrown in, the surface ripples, the depths stay still. You can acknowledge the stone without changing the lake. A simple, "You're a handful," with a smirk beats any argument. If she withdraws for days, you let the space open and live your life. When she returns, you decide if the connection still aligns. Your power lies in your willingness to walk away with warmth and integrity. The man who won't walk away cannot lead. Directness is oxygen. It cuts through the fog of uncertainty. You approach when you feel the pull, not when you've rehearsed permission. Your opener is plain and masculine. "You caught my eye. I'm James." No gimmicks, no performative lines. You're not trying to be liked, you're screening for resonance. If she's closed, you respect it and exit with grace. If she's open, you deepen. Ask questions that reveal taste and temperament. When you have a free afternoon, what do you actually choose to do? What kind of space makes you feel like yourself? These questions bypass surface chatter and land in the territory where attraction lives. Identity, preference, embodied experience. While she speaks, don't rush to respond. Let your listening be slow and tangible. Your eye contact should be warm, your posture still, your micro-reactions subtle. She will feel seen, and being seen is the beginning of being moved. Flirtation is precision. It's the playful thread you weave through truth. Offer small, confident contrasts. If she says she can't cook, reply, "Good, then you won't argue when I take over the kitchen." If she brags about being competitive, say, "Dangerous. You'll either be my favorite teammate or my favorite problem." You're not mocking, you're sculpting a polarity where her feminine feels the edges of your masculine. Calibrate based on her responses. If she leans in, escalate lightly. If she stiffens, pivot to curiosity. The most attractive men read micro-cues and adjust without abandoning themselves. That's the art. Stay you while you adapt. Physicality matters, not for vanity, but for signal. A strong, flexible body tells the truth about your habits. Train for performance, pull-ups, sprints, weighted carries. This builds the posture of a man who can lift his own life. Your walk should be unhurried and purposeful. Heels plant, shoulders glide, head still. This stride changes how people react to you before you speak. When you enter a room, pause a beat at the threshold, take it in, decide where you want to be, and go there. Micro-rituals like this turn you from participant to conductor. Women feel that shift immediately. It's not loud, it's decisive. Emotional stability is not numbness, it's the ability to feel without being flooded. Women are deeply attracted to a man who can hold tension. Her moods, the uncertainty of early dating, the awkwardness that arises, without collapsing or attacking. Learn to name your state without drama. I'm focused, I'm amused, I'm not convinced, I'm into this. This language shows self-awareness and reduces the guesswork that kills connection. When conflict brushes your edges, your first move is to slow your breath, soften your jaw, and keep your voice low. You will be shocked how quickly this diffuses nonsense and invites honest conversation. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs to feel that you won't become a storm when life does. Certainty paired with warmth is magnetic. Certainty without warmth feels cold. Warmth without certainty feels weak. You need both. Certainty is in your decisions. Let's do the wine bar on 3rd at 8. Warmth is in your delivery. Eye smile, relaxed shoulders, an easy laugh. Certainty is in your yes and no. Warmth is in your tone when you say them. This combination tells her, here is a man who won't be dragged, and he won't drag me. He chooses, and he cherishes. Integrity is non-negotiable. If you say you'll be somewhere, be there. If your intentions shift, communicate. Hidden agendas leak. Women are attuned to inconsistencies that men try to finesse. Be clean. If you're exploring, say you're exploring. If you're ready for depth, say you're ready and back it with behavior. The most attractive men earn trust not by making promises, but by making patterns. Your patterns are your reputation. They precede you everywhere. Curiosity is gasoline for desire. Ask her about the things she lights up about, not the resume she thinks she should present. Then introduce her to something that lights you up. Share tastes, not trivia. A particular coffee, a path you run when you need clarity, a painter whose colors feel like rain at night. Don't dump information. Invite experience. I'm heading to a spot Thursday with this ridiculous tiramisu. You'll either hate me or thank me forever. Join. That's how you fuse curiosity and decisiveness. Notice the phrasing. Light, specific, assumptive, without being pushy. If she's in, great. If not, you remain unmoved. Touch is a language. Early on, keep it clean and socially attuned. A light tap on her elbow when you pivot through a door. A brief palm to palm when you meet. A momentary touch at her waist to move her through a crowded space, released instantly. You're not taking, you're guiding. Your touch should match your eyes and your words. Firm, brief, respectful. She will register it subconsciously. When she reciprocates, lingers in a hug, rests a hand on your forearm, leans closer, mirror, and slightly escalate. Consent isn't a buzzword, it's the architecture of real desire. The most attractive men make women feel both energized and safe because they lead with attuned awareness. Wit without meanness is top-tier sex appeal. Don't be the guy who confuses sarcasm with charm. Wit is the ability to see a sliver of absurdity and hold it up to the light. If the cafe is out of croissants, you deadpan, "A tragedy. We'll persevere." If the music is too loud, you lean in and say, "I'm going to have to read lips or steal you to quieter territory." These are small moves, but they paint you as the man who can turn friction into flavor. She starts to associate you with an upgraded experience of reality. People crave that upgrade. Masculine containment amplifies feminine expression. Give her space to be bright, to be moody, to be playful, to be thoughtful, without trying to fix or control it. When she shares something vulnerable, you don't turn it into a therapy session or a joke. You slow down, hold her eyes, and acknowledge it. "I hear that." Then you return to the polarity. You're not her clinician, you're her counterpart. This balance makes you rare, and rarity is irresistibly attractive. Decision speed matters. Too many men outsource choices, hoping to appear considerate. Consideration is offering two great options and picking one if she hesitates. You say, "Italian or sushi?" Then if she's indecisive, "Cool, Italian it is." If she says she doesn't care, you smile, "I do." This dynamic conserves her energy and telegraphs that you're willing to carry the frame. Doing so doesn't reduce her power, it lets her relax into it. Status is not about followers or cars, it's about how people respond to you. Build your social capital by being the man who improves a room. Remember names. Tip well. Treat staff with the same respect you give her. These micro signals shape how she experiences you. Attraction is not a private event, it's an ecosystem. When she sees how the world opens for you, and how you open for the world, she feels her life would be amplified by proximity. Scar tissue properly healed becomes magnetism. Don't perform vulnerability for attention. Be candid when it's relevant and earned. I've rebuilt a few times. It made me sharper about what I want. That's enough. Leave room for her curiosity. Real men don't dump their wounds. They demonstrate their wisdom. Women feel the difference instantly. Oversharing is a grasp for sympathy. Calm candor is a demonstration of growth. Texting is the bridge, not the destination. Your messages should carry tone and direction. Keep them short, specific, and lightly flavored. Use voice notes sparingly to transmit your cadence. The moment she hears your calm baritone, you're not competing with blue bubbles anymore. Don't solve everything in text. If a thread drifts, end it with forward motion. Let's save this for Thursday. You'll explain over coffee. Then stop. Your silence is structural, not punitive. Time is your ally. Rushing collapses polarity. Let attraction breathe. After the first meet, don't bombard her. Give space for anticipation to ferment. Anticipation is half of attraction. It pulls her toward the next moment because the last moment still echoes. That echo is created by the quality of presence you brought, not by the quantity of messages you send afterward. Self-respect is the foundation of every move. If she disrespects you, consistent flaking, contempt, disregard, you don't negotiate. You end it with warmth and finality. We want different things. I'm going to wish you the best and move on. That line, delivered calmly, is a declaration to yourself. The most attractive men broadcast that they are not available for low-standard dynamics. Women feel this. The ones aligned step closer. The ones not aligned fall away. Good. Your time is your crown. Your daily rituals either erode or build your attractiveness. Put your phone face down at meals. Read something substantial for 30 minutes a day to grow your language and your mind. Train your body with intent. Keep your space minimal and clean. Invest in one high-quality piece a month, shoes, jacket, bag, and build a wardrobe that tells the story you want told. Drink more water than your comfort allows. Sleep like a pro athlete. None of this is sexy on paper. All of it is sexy in person. Conversation that opens her world beats performance every time. Use sense-based prompts. Describe your perfect Sunday morning in textures and tastes. Give me a city you love and a reason that would surprise me. This pulls her into sensory memory, where emotion lives. When she answers, reflect a thread and pivot to your lead. You like quiet mornings. I've got a spot that does absurd pancakes. Thursday, 8. You're always weaving curiosity into direction. Indifference to outcome unlocks your natural charm. It's not that you don't care, It's that your identity isn't on trial. Whether she says yes or no, you remain you. That constancy frees your humor, your daring, your truth. Ironically, it's this freedom that tips the scales in your favor. Women aren't trying to fix your self-image. They're searching for a man who already did. Eye contact is an instrument. Use it with tempo. When she says something intriguing, hold her gaze for one heartbeat longer than feels normal, then break to her lips, then to her hands, then back to her eyes. This is not a trick. It's a physical echo of presence. Combine it with a micro-smile that says, "I see you," and a slight head tilt that says, "I'm not fully sold." That blend of acceptance and challenge is catnip to a feminine nervous system. She blooms under it. When you disagree, do it cleanly. I don't see it that way. Stop. Don't scramble to justify. Let her come forward. If she presses, expand, but keep your spine. Women are attracted to men who can stand in difference without becoming defensive or domineering. Polarity requires two poles. Be one. If you're meeting someone new, keep the first experience short and kinetic. 30 to 90 minutes. Walking between locations. A coffee, then a bookstore. A wine bar, then a city view. Movement reduces stagnant interview energy. It creates a sense of shared micro-adventure. You're not trying to impress. You're trying to orchestrate an experience where chemistry can breathe. After that, upgrade environments intentionally. Lighting low, seating close but not trapped. Music below the threshold where you need to lean aggressively. Sit at a right angle or slightly offset, not straight-on interrogation style. Give her room to shift body language and to escalate proximity. Let your knee occasionally brush and then withdraw. Let your arm rest behind her chair without touching until she leans back into it. Your restraint is louder than any overt move. Know when to be silent. There will be a moment when the conversation thins, not because it's dying, but because a new current is forming. Don't rush to fill it. Take a slow sip. Let your eyes run that triangle once more. If the moment opens, name it simply, "This is nice." Many men miss this and bulldoze the feeling with chatter. Don't. The pause carries voltage. Behind all of this is one core principle. You are the frame. Everything else is movement within it. Your habits create the frame. Your breath stabilizes it. Your eyes broadcast it. Your decisions express it. She will decorate your frame or she will bounce off it. That's not about worth. It's about fit. Your task is to build a frame so true that the right women feel instantly at home and the wrong ones opt out early. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Tell me the one shift you're going to implement in the next 7 days. Voice, boundaries, logistics, eye contact, breathing, and lock it in. The fastest changes happen when you marry intention with a small daily ritual and immediate practice. Don't wait for confidence to descend from the sky. Build it by doing the reps in real conversations, with real women, in real time. Now, a word on exclusivity. Your attention is a reward. Don't donate it to anyone who treats it carelessly. The most attractive men have standards for who gets their time, not because they're arrogant, but because they respect their path. When you hold that line, your presence becomes rare air, and people breathe differently around you. If you know a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Iron sharpens iron, and the world needs fewer men sleepwalking and more men creating warmth and order in the spaces they touch. When you embody these principles, you don't just become attractive, you become stabilizing. And that is what women are magnetized to. A man whose presence steadies the present and stretches the future. Here's your practical capsule to carry forward. Breathe low and slow. Speak with downward inflection. Move with chosen pace. Dress with intentional fit. Maintain soft, intermittent eye contact. Lead with clear options. Protect your time. Challenge playfully. Let silence work. Escalate touch with awareness. Read the room. Handle logistics. Own your yes and your no. Adapt without abandoning yourself. Cycle this through your days until it becomes your second skin. Attraction won't be something you chase. It will be something you radiate. You don't need to be the loudest, the tallest, or the richest man in the room. You need to be the clearest. Clarity is rare. Clarity is hot. Clarity is the feeling a woman gets when she meets you and her nervous system says, "This one." The path to that clarity is built in the tiny moments most men rush through. Slow down. Choose deliberately. Refuse to break your rhythm for anyone who hasn't earned it. Watch how the world and the women in it begin to tune themselves to your frequency. If what you've heard today is recentering you, stay with me until the end of this journey, because this is only the entry point. Subscribe so you don't miss the deeper layers we'll break down next. Comment with one insight you're claiming. Share this with a man you respect. Then step out into your life and practice. The man you're becoming isn't found in theory. He's forged in the policies you enforce with your breath, your eyes, your choices. And that is exactly what women find most attractive: a man who is already leading himself.